The objective of this video is to be able to interpret slope as a rate of change. Slope tells us how fast the dependent variable y is changing with respect to the independent variable x. The meaning of slope can be thought of as the change in the dependent variable per unit change in the independent variable. Unit change means increases by 1. Let's consider an example. In this example, we see the relationship between the independent variable, which is years after 1990, and the dependent variable, which is the number of men living alone measured in millions. We can use the data to calculate the slope of the line. The question asks, what does the slope represent? When asked to interpret the meaning of slope, it's helpful to think about what are the units of the slope first. You can find the units of slope by finding the dependent variable units divided by or per the independent variable units. This is because we find slope by taking the vertical change divided by the horizontal change. In our example, the independent variable units are years, and the dependent variable unit is million of men. So we're able to determine the units for this slope is million men per year. This will help us as we try to uncover what the slope represents. You can use this generic description of the meaning of slope to help us understand how to write the meaning of the slope in this example. The meaning of slope is always the change in the dependent variable per unit change in the independent variable. So let's fill what these things are for our example. For our example, the dependent variable is the number of men in millions living alone, and the independent variable is the number of years after 1990. So we can say something like the change in number of men in millions living alone per unit change in number of years after 1990. We could reword this a little bit simpler. Do something like the number of men living alone increases by 0.3167 million per year in the years after 1990. In this video, we learned how to think of slope as the rate of change of a linear function. As you're studying, you should focus on being able to interpret slope as a rate of change and being able to find the units for slope, which are the y units divided by the x units.